Hey third graders, I hope you had a nice Labor Day. We are going to start today with rounding. So like last week, I'm going to put up what day of the week it is, and this is Monday. Oops, no it's not. Sorry, it's Tuesday. We had Monday off. So Tuesday, we're going to talk about rounding. So in your books, we're on page 11. And we will be talking about how to round a number. So if you look with me on page 10 and 11, actually, 10 through 11, look at it with me while I read it. Randy has 3 pieces of wood. Actually, yep, I want to. Okay. Randy has 3 pieces of wood. He wants to round the lengths of each piece of wood to the nearest 10 inches. The lengths are 53 inches, 58 inches, and 65 inches. How can Randy round the lengths? What are the rounded lengths? You can round numbers to tell about how many. So when you round a number, there's a couple of rules. I like to think of it like a roller coaster. So on a roller coaster, you go up, 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 and then you go down. So if we look at our roller coaster and we put 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the top, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can visualize this roller coaster to help you with rounding. If it is 0 through 4, we round down. And when you round down, your number stays the same. And I'm going to show you an example in just a second. If you have a number that is 5 through 9, then you're going to round up. So I'm going to show you in a second exactly what I mean. What you do is you look at the number they underlined. They're always going to underline a number. If they don't, they'll at least tell you what place it is. In this lesson, they want you to round to the nearest 10. So if I have a number like 79, this is the tens place. I need to look at the number to the right. So what I do, and I always teach it this way, underline the number in the place you're looking at, which is the tens place. Look at the number to the right, draw an arrow. This number is a 9. So if we look at our little roller coaster, we know that if this number right here is a 9, or it's a 5, 6, 7, or 8, we need to round up. So the number to the right tells us what to do with the number we underlined. So since it is a 9, we go up. So the 7 turns to an 8, and everything after it turns to 0. So what that means is 79 is closest to 80. If you look at what they're saying, they want you to know whether 79 is closer to 70 or 80, the nearest 10. 79 is really close to 80, so when we round it, that's what it rounds to. So let me erase this. Yep, okay. Let's look at what you have in your book. It says Randy can use place value. He has 53, 58, and 65. Rounding is good for you when you want to know quickly what a number is close to. So let's look at Randy's 53. We want to round Randy's 53 to the nearest 10. I'm going to put Tuesday, back up here, just in case anybody's starting right here. We need to round to the nearest 10. So I'm going to underline my tens place, and I'm going to draw an arrow. When I look at the number to the right, you might want to circle it. The 3 is the number we want to look at. If it's 0 through 4, we round down. If it's 5 through 9, we round up. 3 is between 0 and 4, so this 5 stays the same. It doesn't round down to a 4, it stays the same. Everything after it changes to a 0. So 53 is closer to 50. Okay, let's look at 58. The nearest 10 is this 5 right here. We need to look at the 8 next to it. The 8 is between 5 and 9, so I go up. So what number goes up is this 5. What comes after 5 is 6. Then everything after it changes to a 0. So 58 is closest to 60. Then we have 65. 6 is the nearest tens place. 5 is the number I need to look at up here. 5 through 9 tells me to round up. So the 6 rounds to a 7, and we change that number after it to a 0. So 53 is closest to 50, 58 is closest to 60, and 65 is closest to 70. You can use the number line to help you, but I really want you to know how to use it like this. You need to remember these rules right here. These are the most important rules. So today what you're going to do to practice this is you're going to do page 11, numbers 18 through 21. So let's look at those. It says round each number to the nearest 10. They don't give you an underlined number here. They're just going to give you a number like 12 is number 18. They want you to know what place is the tens place. The 1 is in the tens place. Then you need to think, what does a 2 tell us to do? We need to know whether to round up or down. So that's what you're going to do on page 11, numbers 18 through 21 for classwork. Your homework is workbook page 7, okay? When you get done with those, put those in your folder to bring back to me on Friday. If you have any questions, let me know. We're going to be doing the same thing for Wednesday. We need to practice this a lot because it's super, super important. So I'm going to close out Tuesday's video here, and then we're going to practice more for Wednesdays. Okay, Wednesday video. So yesterday, Tuesday, you practiced rounding numbers to the nearest 10. You use number lines, or you can use the rule I taught you. The rules I taught you are going to be a lot easier and quicker, and you're going to use those in 4th and 5th grade too. So I want you to really know those rules. If it's 0 through 4, it rounds down. If it is 5 through 9, it rounds up. And you're looking to the number to the right of the number they want you to look at. So they'll always tell you round to the nearest tens place, or when you get into higher grades, they underline the number for you. So let's look at page 11. Yesterday you did 18 through 21. Today you're going to do page 11, 22 through 25. So let's practice some more. Let me give you one like this. If I give you one that is something like 358, and I want you to round to the nearest 10, underline that 10 spot. It's going to be the easiest way to do it if you don't remember. Then I can draw my arrow, and I'm looking at that 8 to tell me what to do. So 5 through 9, I round up. So that 8 is going to tell me to make that 5 into a 6. Now look what I do here. Everything before that underlined digit stays the same. So I keep that 3. Everything after it turns to zeros. So 360 is the closest 10. Okay? So let me show you another one. If I gave you 192 and I told you to round to the nearest 10, 9 is the nearest 10. The number to the right tells me what to do. 2 falls in the 0 through 4 category. So my 9 stays the same. So what I do is just drop it down. Everything before it stays the same, and everything after it changes to a 0. Okay? So that's what you're going to do today. You're just going a little bit further into bigger numbers, but still looking at a place value in the tens. So classwork is page 11, 22 to 25, and your homework is going to be workbook page 8. I'm going to write that here. Homework is workbook page 8. Okay, so I'm going to stop our Wednesday video, and then I'm going to move on to Thursday. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, so Thursday video, Yesterday, we did some more rounding to the nearest tens place. Today, we're going to do rounding to the nearest hundred, which is the same thing. We're just moving over a little bit. So we're going to be on pages 13 and 14. So get in your book on 13, not 13 and 14, I'm sorry. You're going to be on 12 and 13, pages 12 and 13. Let me write it right here. So look at page 12 with me. Round numbers to the nearest hundred. A reporter is rounding 845 to the nearest hundred for a headline. What number will be in the headline? You can use a number line to round to 845. So let's look at the number line they show you. They started at 800, then they have a little tick mark here, then 820, tick mark 840, tick mark 860, tick mark, and then 880, and I'm going to stop here because I'm running out of room on my iPad. So if we were to look at where 845 is, we need to know what our interval is. The interval here is 20. You're counting by 20s. In between is a 10. So if we look at 840, this one right here is 850. So if we look right in between that, we'll have 845. So we know that 845 is right between 840 and 850. If we take it further, we know that it's between 800 and 900. And that's the part I couldn't fit on the number line. So this one, we're going to be rounding to a little bit of a farther place. So let me clear this and show you what I mean. For 845, we want to round to the hundreds place. So I'm underlining my hundreds place right here. I'm still looking at the number to the right. So the 4 is going to tell me what to do with the 8. Remember, 0 through 4 rounds down or stays the same. 5 through 9 rounds up. That 4 tells me that my 8 is going to stay the same. And everything after it is going to change to zeros. So 845 is closer to 800 than it is to 900. It's almost to 900. 850 would be about the halfway mark. So you're going to do these the same exact way you did the other ones. So for classwork today, you're going to do some on page 13. So let's practice some more, and then I'll tell you what your classwork is going to be. So let me clear this one out. This should be the same process as before. These rules over here stay the same. So let's look at one like, I'm going to give you some tricky ones too to help you. Let's look at an easy one like 157. I'm going to underline the place I'm in, which is my hundreds. I'm going to draw an arrow from my 5 to my 1. The 5 tells me that this 1 needs to go up to a 2. I need to round up. Everything after it changes to 0, so as closest to 200. Okay, let's look at 498. You should be able to figure that one out without really doing any rounding. Let's underline our place, which is hundreds. The 9 tells me that 5 needs to go up. Everything after it changes to zeros. So 498 is closest to 500. Now, sometimes they'll give you one like this, 92. What we need to think about with 92 is, what is that closest to? Is it closer to 0 or 100? Think about 50 as your halfway point. If it's 50 or below, well, if it's 49 or below, it's going to be closer to 0. If it's 50 or more, it's going to be closer to 100. So this 92 would round right up to 100. It's only 8 away. So for classwork today, you're going to do page 13, 11 through 14. It's not that many. Homework is workbook, page 9. Okay, so that's going to end our Thursday video. You're rounding it the same way you rounded tens, except this time you're going one spot over to the hundreds. okay? This will be the end of our Thursday video. All right, this is our Friday video, last video of the week. We're going to continue with what we did yesterday, more rounding to 100. So I'm going to give you some practice ones. There will be no homework this week because it's Friday, no homework today, I mean. So we will have some classwork. So let's look at some more practice. If I give you a number like 505 and I told you to round it to the nearest hundred, underline the hundreds place. Look to the number next to it. 0 tells me that my 5 is going to stay the same, and everything after it changes to zeros. Okay? If I gave you one like 963, now this one's a little bit different, so watch how I do this one. Underline the place, which is my 9 in the hundreds place. My 6 is going to tell my 9 to go up. Now here's where it's a little bit different. Think to yourself, what comes after 9? 10. And then the 6 changes to a 0 and the 3 changes to a 0. So 1,000 is your answer, okay? So those are a little different. So today for classwork, you're going to do page 13, numbers 15 through 22. That is today's classwork. Now I have one more important thing to tell you real quick. I'm going to clear this. You're going to have your first test on September 16th. So chapter 1 test, September 16th. That will be next week. So it's going to be all on chapter 1. Next week we'll do some review with this, and then we'll do our test, and we'll begin chapter 2 after that. And I think you guys will like chapter 2 because it's really just adding and subtracting. And so it's going to be a pretty simple one. Then we're going to move on to multiplication after that, okay? So check the paper that I sent home on Friday. It has everything you need. It has all the classwork and homework pages. This video, you can watch it as many times, fast forward, rewind, whatever you need. If you have any questions, your parents can email me or Miss Allen or Miss Collins, and we'll get back to you. Have a good weekend.